August 9th. President Buhari says no plan to install an interim government. Governor Adeleke expresses satisfaction on the quality of ongoing construction of Oshogbo-Ikirun-Ilaodo Road. While on the foreign scene, United Nations calls on Africa to embrace peace to combat rising violence. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the Major Report. I am Olubomi Ajiboye Agbola. The presidency has said there are no plans by President Muhammadu Buhari to extend his tenure beyond May 29, 2023 or install an interim government. The spokesperson to the president, Garuba Shehu, in a statement released to journalists in Abuja, said there is absolutely no truth to the claim that President Muhammadu Buhari is working towards an interim government or the truncation of democracy. The presidency stated this while responding to claims by some governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress that Buhari's insistence on the new Naira policy was to trigger chaos that would necessitate the imposition of an interim government. Shehu further said that the president looked forward to handing over the reins of power to the elected successor on May 29, 2023, as the Constitution requires. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest have passed a vote of confidence on Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke for transforming the party into winning platform for electoral victory. The chairman of the People's Democratic Party from Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, Oyo, and Osun State disclosed this in a communique issued at the end of zonal strategic meeting held at the governor's country home, Ede Town. Governor's office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilekun brings details.
Strategic meeting of the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest with Dr. D. Olafeso, the Zonal Desk Officer Southwest, Chairman of Ondo State, Honorable Fatai Adams, Honorable Oyedele Sikirulai, and Honorable Philip Awoji from Lagos State. Others in attendance are Engineer Femi Babalola from Oyo State, Caretaker Chairman of Ekiti, Architect Sodiq Obanoye, and his counterpart from Osun State, Dr. Akindele Adekunle, while Governor Ademola Adeleke was the Southwest Coordinating Chairman. The meeting, which held behind closed doors, discussed salient issues that borders on the success of the party at the coming general elections. The meeting affirmed that the Southwest region is determined to vote for the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, whose restructuring agenda resonates and aligned with the aspirations of Yoruba race. Reading their communique at the end of the meeting, PDP leaders in the Southwest said Alhaji Abubakar has the experience needed to rescue Nigeria from the mess that it has been plunged into by the ruling All Progressives Congress APC.
That the Southwest region is determined to vote for the People's Democratic presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar /Okowa for several reasons. Its agenda for restructuring resonates and aligns with the aspiration of our region. The PDP candidate has the best economic agenda among the contenders to revive Nigeria as a unified and prosperous nation. His experience is needed now to take back the country from the mess and chaos APC has plunged all of us into.
The leadership of the PDP in the region observed that in less than 100 days in office, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has become a rallying point not only in the Southwest but in the country at large by transforming the state beyond imagination of friends and political opponents.
Now, within the last 2 months and some days, Governor Adeleke has recorded the following unprecedented achievements: the resolution of house salary and other standing emoluments, issues within the Osun Public Service, launching of Osun Digital and Tech Revolution, upgrading of schools and health centers across the 30 local government areas, provision of motorized boreholes in 332 works across the state, reform of public service, creation of Imole Youth Corps for youth empowerment. for achieving all the above in so short a period and for providing a trusted platform. We pass a vote of confidence on His Excellency Governor Ademola.
Earlier, the Osun State Governor and coordinating chairman of the forum appealed to the party leaders to form a common front and settle their rifts so as to root out the ruling APC in Nigeria. He used the occasion to highlight his achievements in less than 100 days, to include gradual payment of salary arrears owed workers by the past administration, mobilization of contractors to resume abandoned Osogbo Ikirun Ilaudo Kwara State boundary road, sinking of boreholes in each of the 332 wards in Osun State, and reactivation of primary health care centers, as well as inter- and intra-city road construction across the states.
Well, during the campaign, that only want to get paid money that want to everything. Money go consider that batch money at law at me or my president. So I'm happy to tell you, I'm giving my stewardship right here, so that you can be proud of me. You can be proud of us. I say people is doing road construction. After my exercise, I'm going to put on my jeans and move around. This government is going to come and sit down in the office. We're going to tell them how we do it.
It has been Abdurrahim Adekilekun reporting.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has expressed satisfaction about the quality and progress of job done on the ongoing construction of Osogbo Ikirun Ilaudo Kwara State boundary road, just as he appealed to road users to observe speed limits and drive safely. The governor stated this when he inspected the road projects that had been abandoned for years. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilekun reports. Brought to you in the course of the bulletin. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it has concluded plans to conduct a flawless general elections next Saturday. The resident electoral commissioner in Osun State, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, spoke through the unit head, people living with disabilities and civil society organizations in the commission, Mr. Olaniyi Adeshina, shortly after featuring on Osbc weekly magazine program Saturday Morning Trades. Dr. Agboke noted that the commission is working in synergy with all stakeholders in the industry and has mapped out strategies for people living with disabilities in order not to be disenfranchised.
Had a series of meetings with security agencies, transport union, and other major stakeholders in the election, especially the political parties, leadership of political parties, and the rest. As we speak, training of presiding officers and assistant presiding officers is ongoing in all states of the federation, in all local government areas in Osun State, including Ife East area office. And that is what we call migration stroke redistribution of voters. So we have come to realize that one of the issues that cause long voting in polling units is overcrowded polling unit. So we now move registered voters from this crowded polling unit to proximate polling units, that is polling units that are within the area stroke ward level. We have successfully done that, and we have printed the register and pasted at all affected polling unit areas for people to come and see where they are going to vote on the election day. So we have done that successfully.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission says it has presented its cash requirements for prosecuting the forthcoming elections to the Central Bank of Nigeria as requested by the Apex Bank. The Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Mr. Rotimi Oyekomi, said this in an interview with newsmen that even though the Commission does its payments through online transfers, but some specific services had to be paid for in cash. The INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had recently visited the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele to seek the Apex Bank support towards each free election, especially with the new Naira policy. that had led to the scarcity of the new notes and placed restrictions on cash withdrawal. Emefiele had promised that the Naira redesign would not affect the elections as it would provide the required cash and support needed for the smooth conduct of the poll. It will be recalled that the Resident Electoral Commission for the Federal Capital Territory, Yahaya Bello, raised the alarm that non-availability of cash might affect the conduct of the elections. Osun State government has enjoined youths and civil society organizations to continue to embrace dialogue in the face of the current scarcity of cash and petroleum, as well as the exorbitant charges by point-of-sales operators, just as it works round the clock to ease the situation. The Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Teslim Igbalayi, gave the admonition while addressing coalition of youth groups and civil society organizations, bankers management, and POS operators in a town hall meeting at the Local Government Service Commission Hall. Some of the grievances of the youth and COS boiled down to the shortage of cash and exorbitant charges by the operators of point-of-sales machines. The coalition lamented that the cashless policy of the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria has thrown Nigerians into unnecessary agony where people buy Naira notes. The outburst by some All Progressives Congress governors against the Naira swap has been described as illegal, unlawful, and out of place. A legal practitioner, Mr. Femi Ayodokun, gave this indication while speaking shortly after featuring on Osbc television weekly magazine program Saturday Morning Trade. Mr. Ayodokun said the policy is monetary policy, which involved the central bank, adding that the reintroduction of 200 Naira notes by President Muhammadu Buhari is part of measure to curb cash crunch. He, however, said that the hue and cry by some APC governors is nothing but self-serving.
President, in his address recently, stated that one of the reasons for the monetary policy that to do with Naira swap is to discourage politicians from buying votes, money for votes. So it would appear that when any politician screams blue murder about this matter these days, that politician must be after vote buying. The CBN is not a party to the ongoing proceedings before the Supreme Court on this Naira swap issue. I'm not commenting on the